Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Greyboard Gamer here with the continuation of my playthrough of Galaxy Defenders by Ares Games. It's time to dive right into this situation. It's not going well. Agent Mercury is taking a severe beating down here from these aliens. She's currently has 5 wounds and only has a total health available of 7. We need to do something about that situation. We need to try and eliminate some of these aliens and eliminate some of these teleporters within the next round or two before we get too far behind. First, we're going to go into the refresh phase, and here we refresh powers and items. The Xenobeta has his armor that recharges during the refresh phase, so he gets this token back, which will help him defend against 1 successful attack. The agents don't have anything that needs to refresh except for the sentry gun. Will get its token back, and it's on guard and ready to fire. Now, I made a statement before that the sentry gun starts with 2 ammo, and if it runs out, we have to get more ammo to it. That was incorrect. I looked in the rulebook. When the sentry gun runs out of ammo, that's it. It cannot be replenished. So that means we're only 1 ammo symbol on a combat die away from having the sentry gun no longer be effective for us. Also, I didn't go back and review my gameplay from the first 2 because I read another item in the book that said in order for an alien to use one of these AIs, it has to have line of sight before it starts. So if it's going to move one area and attack the closest agent, before it moves, it would have to have line of sight on that agent before it moved. If it does not have line of sight on any agents, then no matter how close they are, it always defaults to the generic AI down at the bottom. Now, I have a feeling that I made a mistake a few times with that, and the aliens probably got some extra attacks in, so it definitely did not work to my advantage if I got it wrong, but I'll make sure to pay careful attention to that going forward. Next, we go into our strategy phase, and the first thing we do is we have the Alpha Agent promotion, and I'm going to take it off of Agent Mercury and put it onto Agent Titanium. And the main reason I'm doing that is I've played the game before, and I know that there's some close encounter cards that activate monsters that are assigned to the Alpha Agent, and currently she has 4 assigned to her, so I definitely want to avoid having the Alpha Agent on her and then have all 4 of those monsters that are assigned to her currently activate. Next, we would get our Galaxy Defender wings. We'd make our rolls to see if we got promoted. No aliens were killed, so that will not happen. We have no reinforcements or weapons coming to the field from headquarters. Our mission status check is it still needs to keep going. Our first agent to act will be Agent Titanium. And I definitely want him to come over here and give her a hand, because that Xenobeta is far enough away and is seriously hurt. Now he can move 3. I'm going to move him down here to this hex. Now maybe there instead. So we'll move him there. He definitely has line of sight on the green spine critter. And we're going to use his main weapon and discard 1 ammo to do area damage as specified on his card. So he will roll 3 red dice, and a lightning bolt would equal an additional successful hit. Agent Titanium gets to roll 3 to attack, and this is going to do area damage. And it was a very unsuccessful attack. He only got one successful hit, possibly successful. Now the spine critters get to defend. They each get to defend on their own. Neither one of them has armor, so they each get to defend. First, I'll defend the blue, and he is unsuccessful and will take a wound. And then the green is also unsuccessful and will take a wound. Both of our spine critters took a wound apiece, so the blue is at 2 and the green is at 1. Now, friendly fire is turned off by default according to the rule book. It is an optional rule that you can activate and play with, but for this playthrough I'm playing the base game, no expansions and no optional rules, so there is no friendly fire that Agent Mercury has to be worried about. Now, Agent Titanium moved and fired, and he does not have any items. I don't want to use his ammo right now, his additional ammo magazine, because it gives him 2 and he's only used 1. So there's no other items that he has that I would use. So we go to his close encounter card. Kill the leader. Activate all aliens assigned to the Alpha agent. And look at that, it's almost like I looked at the cards, but I definitely didn't, because I like playing my game straight. But I knew that card was in there and it might be coming up soon. And luckily, since we changed the Alpha agent to Agent Titanium, he has no aliens assigned to him, so that worked out excellent. Now we have Agent Mercury, who is here with these 2 spine critters, and for her very first thing, I'm going to use her action to use her med kit to regain 3 health. So that will remove 3 wounds. She currently has 5 wounds, and that'll put her down to only having 2 wounds now, so that's a big help. I want to have her attack. Now the blue spine critter has 2 wounds and 4 total health, so he has 2 left, and the green spine critter only has 1 wound and has 3 health and 2 left also. So we're going to attack the blue and try and get rid of the more dangerous monster. Agent Mercury is fighting for her life there against these spine critters. Her blade gives her 4 red dice, and then if she gets any lightning bolts, that'll take 1 away from the creature's defense die. 1 success, 2 success, 3 success, and 4. 4 successes and a lightning bolt to take away 1 defense die. So instead of rolling 4 defense die, we will only roll 3. Not successful, not successful, unsuccessful on all 3. That is excellent. So all 4 of her attacks land. This blue spine critter took 4 wounds, and that's enough to kill it. But it also has this effect. When spine critter dies, attacks all agents with 2 hits. The spine critter died, but then it sprayed acid everywhere, which is worth 2 successful attacks that Agent Mercury will defend against. and I would classify them as a ranged attack because it's a flying material and it's not a limb or an object that there are aliens holding. So her special ability of getting a lightning bolt counting as an extra defense will not apply here. And she was able to roll all the way for half of the acid and only take one wound. Agent Mercury used her action in her combat. She's still engaged with this alien spine critter, so she can't move. So she will draw her close encounter card. And it's a troop assault. Activate all green aliens. Well, that's bad news for Agent Mercury, because she is right next to a green alien, and there's a couple over here too. So first we will activate the spine critter, and he is in the same space, so he will use his jaws to attack because she's the only one there. That's 2 red with a bonus of 1 if activated. The spine critter takes a slash, or not a slash, a bite at her with his jaws and gets a success and a lightning. So that's 2 successful hits that she has to defend against. And since it's a melee attack, ooh, that made a lot of noise. I'll just roll another one. She got no shields, no lightning bolts, and she will take 2 wounds. Agent Mercury takes an additional 2. That'll put her up to 4 wounds, and she's not doing too well. Just healed and already back almost to the condition she was in before. Now we have our 2 Xenobetas here. Now, they both appear to have line of sight. Let me check that real quick. Now check the line of sight. Definitely this hex that's straight across does not go over this bordered area. This hex, where this Xenobeta is, the center of it kind of nicks this corner just barely, trying to get to the center of this hex as far as line of sight goes. But thematically, I think it would be nitpicking to say that just because I have to go over this tiny little piece of this corner here, that this alien would not have line of sight. So I would rule that he does, and they'll both get to attack. And unfortunately for Agent Mercury, they're both 2 away, 2 areas away, and they will attack twice with their blaster, which are 2 red dice with no bonuses. And also what's unfortunate is she has this passive ability, is she cannot be engaged, she cannot be targeted by aliens at 2 or more, if not engaged. Well, unfortunately for her, she currently is engaged with that green spine critter, so they are able to target her. She's going to have to really weather a storm here. Speaking of weathering a storm, I just realized I made a mistake in my movement in the last agent, but I'll check that in a minute. So they get to attack twice each, and that is 1 success that she would defend against. And she does successfully. Now the second attack from the first one has 1 success that she does not defend against, so she will take 1 wound. The second one attacks, has 2 successes. Now we're into dangerous territory. She defends against 1, so she takes 2 wounds now. 1 more wound and that's it. And we have 1 success, and this is it right here. If she defends, she still has a chance. And she does. Excellent. So she only ended up taking 2 wounds. I say she only ended up taking 2 wounds, but she's now at 6, which puts her 1 point away from being knocked down. And the movement that I thought that I got wrong was because we have our weather effects still in place, and they're reduced by 1, the agent's movement. But I checked in the Hulk class, Agent Titanium was here and only moved 2 total, and he has 3, so we were okay there. And that takes care of Agent Mercury's actions and then the close encounter card. And now we want to see what we're going to do with Agent Thorium here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use his action to activate the sentry gun to fire at this critter here. And that sentry gun gets to fire with 3 red dice. Sentry gun gets to fire, and well, it's going to run out of ammo and jam, so that's going to be the end of the sentry gun, but it got 4 successes that our spine critter will have to defend against. And is only successful once. So it's going to take 3 wounds, and that'll be enough to take it out. I just realized that the spine critter, the green one, delivers 1 unit of acid poison whenever it dies. So Agent Mercury will have to defend or be incapacitated. That's not a success. That's not good. Agent Mercury will sustain a wound. A lot of things just happened there. First, our sentry gun used up its last piece of ammo, which will make it no longer functional. And we'll remove it from the game. Our spine critter was eliminated and spewed acid everywhere, which added 1 more wound to Agent Mercury, which will make her down and in bleeding status. When an agent is bleeding, they cannot do combat. They can move 1 hex during their turn, and they can use their action to activate an item or a power that they have. And that's it. If they gain at least 1 health back, they can be back up to normal status. When they're bleeding, if they sustain any wound, then they're killed, and then they're out of the game permanently. And also, we should have got this when we took out the first alien, but whenever you take the first alien out in a round, you get a piece of the alien tech, and then once you get all 4 pieces, you're able to send that back to headquarters, and during the reinforcements phase you'll get a weapon from headquarters to use. The biotech agent has used his action. He still has his move and his combat. He can move 4, but the weather effect means only 3. I already used my action, so I can't do a tactical redeployment. So I'll move 3 to get him closer to Agent Mercury. Hopefully he gets to her before she takes another wound, and he can use his nanobot sidearm there to heal some of her wounds. I don't have any combat actions that I want him to perform, or that he could perform, so he will draw troop assault, which is bad because that activates all the green aliens. The only agent that can be targeted that's in line of sight of these green aliens of course, is Agent Mercury, who is going to have to fend off 8 attacks without taking a single wound. It's not looking good. She is 2 areas away, so they get to attack twice with their blaster each, and that's 2 red dice with each attack. So this is either going to be the greatest defense ever or a quick death. 2 successes. No defense. That's going to do it. That'll be enough to kill Agent Mercury. Agent Mercury didn't make it, so it's up to her comrades to carry on. Her cards will be reassigned. I'll give them, since they're both the same, to Agent Titanium. Now, the first Xenobeta that fired killed her, which means the second one wouldn't have to fire, but is still activated. He has nothing in line of sight, so he's going to move 1 area towards the closest. So 1, 2, 3. So this would be the shortest path. So we'll move him 1 area closer. That'll take care of our close encounter phase for our biotech agent, leading us into our next event. Hopefully it'll clear this weather up so we can move around quickly and take care of these teleporters. Run, run, run. All agents may immediately move 1 hex. Can be used to disengage. Well, where were you at when I needed you earlier? And then all signals move 3 areas towards the closest teleport point. There are no signals out. There are 2 players left, so we will teleport 1 signal in. So each player can move 1 hex. I'll move each one of them a little bit more behind this berm to protect them from line of sight from these green ones. The blue can probably see them, but it only has 1 health left. Next, we need to spawn 1 signal. And our signal will appear at the PAL symbol. And that is, teleporter is way up at the north end of the board. We'll place our signal there. And that will end this round. A very bad round where we lost Agent Mercury. Our turret gun ran out of ammo. Our sentry gun ran out of ammo. We still haven't destroyed any teleporters. We do have less aliens out and 1 that's wounded pretty bad. So in these next turns, we'll get some movement in, even though it's still raining and our movement's down by 1, to try and take out some of these teleporters. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you in the next video.